session.
Nagaland Legislative Assembly adopts a 5-point resolution during a special session on Oting incident and Naga political issue where repeal of Afspa 1958 from the state has been demanded. The Nagaland Pradesh Congress Committee accuses Nltv over Oting massacre and accuses the state government of deliberately inciting the Oting incident to derail the ongoing ceasefire with the centre. Working Committee NNPG in a press release asked the state government to halt a policy on extraction of petroleum resources until solution on the Naga political issue has been achieved. Tupu demand District Committee holds an emergency meeting at Tupu headquarters to let the voices of Tupu citizens' demand for district reach the Nagaland government. Matri Foundation conducts a free medical camp at Dimapur under the theme Do Small Things with Great Love. Hello and welcome to Nagaland TV. I am Chipen Kung and these are the story in details. The 10th session of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly passed a 5-point resolution on 20th December 2021. Under this resolution, the House condemned the massacre that took place in Oting village on December 4. The House called for apology from appropriate authority along with assurance that justice would be delivered. In the third point, the House appealed to citizens of Mon district, civil societies, citizens of the state and mass-based organizations to extend cooperation to the government. The House appealed to negotiating parties to bring talks to logical conclusions. Nagaland Legislative Assembly unanimously resolved to demand the Government of India to repeal Afspa 1958 from Nagaland. Apart from the 5-point resolution, the state government also promised to provide grade 3 and 4 employment to families of Oting victims. Meanwhile, the government will also bear medical expenses of injured victims of the incident.
The central government, in the stronger terms that we do not want Nagaland to be declared as disturbed area anymore, let us pass a strong resolution to this effect. Perhaps the horrible mistake committed by the security forces in Oting area recently while operating under the cover of Afspa will soften their stand and convince them on the need for repealing Afspa. The House appealed to the citizens of Mon district and its civil society to extend cooperation to the government and its agencies in our collective efforts to restore normalcy in the interest of all the citizens. The House appreciates and supports the demand of the civil societies for their demand for justice. So I condole the death and wish a speedy recovery of the injured person, and we all share the griefs of the bereaved families. I also condemn the killing of 14 innocent civilians in Oting area in Mon district and the causing serious injuries to many more. The people have been voicing out for peace and crying for early political solution. It is paramount that the people's voice and cry is heard and implemented as early as possible. The House may once again appeal to the negotiating parties of the Indo-Naga political dialogue to bring the talks to its logical conclusion by reaching a settlement that is honorable, inclusive, and democratic at the earliest. Let us hope that the recent death of 14 innocent Naga civilians at the hands of army will not go in vain. I also hope and pray that such ugly incidents do not recur again.
The Nagaland Pradesh Congress Committee has continued to hold anti-PP government responsible for massacre of 14 innocent civilians at Oting on December 4. The NPCC President K. Thierry has alleged that the massacre was a fallout of a game plan to derail the ceasefire. Thierry challenged the honesty of the state government and implored the government to first apprehend the killer 21 para-special forces personnel and continue investigation. The president asserted the Supreme Court's verdict in the Naga People's Movement for Human Rights versus Union Government of India, November 1997, which clearly stated the applicability of Afspa. The Afspa could be used only when prohibitory orders were violated and if people possessed power to cause death, but not on mere suspicion. Thierry alleged the state government of trying to protect criminals with Afspa. Deputy Chief Minister Y. Button, during the Nagaland Legislative Assembly special session on Oting incident and Naga political issue, spoke on the Armed Forces Special Power Act 1958. Button stated that Afspa has been operating in the state for the past many years. He further pointed out at Section 3 of Afspa, which states that the Afspa can be imposed wherever the sender or a governor of a state declares a region as disturbed. As per the latest notification released by the central government on June 30, 2021, Afspa would remain imposed in Nagaland till December 29, 2021. Button further informed that after every 6 months of the act, the central government has asked Nagaland government about extension of Afspa, and Nagaland government has always opposed the act given the peaceful law and order situation in the state. All Naga political groups are in a ceasefire agreement and the peace talks on Naga political issue have been going smoothly and a peaceful and honorable solution is expected soon. However, the central government, as per their assessment, continues to extend Afspa in the state. Button also stated that Nagas are against the Afspa 1958 and designation of Nagaland as disturbed area is unjustified. Button also urged every member of the NLA to unite and exert pressure on central government to pay attention to the situation in the state, understand the pain and difficulties of the Naga public, and terminate operation of Afspa from Nagaland. The Minister for Transport P. Paiwang Konyak has presented a ground report of the December 4 Oting incident in the August House on Monday. In his address, he stated that Eastern Naga People's Organization is the apex organization in the eastern part of Nagaland, championing peace and justice for the 6 tribes in 5 districts. He also cited that the famous declaration of the peace zone within the 5 districts was declared on 18 December 2018 at Tunsang, but the peace zone declaration was violated by the Indian Armed Forces at Oting and Tiru. Therefore, the ANPO has declared non-cooperation to the Indian Armed Forces until justice is served. The Eastern are peace-loving people who does not want violence and killings. The ANPO wants peace and development in their region, so the tragic killings disrupted the desire for peace and has marked as the beginning of a new chapter of violence in the land of the Eastern Nagas. The minister further extended his unflinching support to the ANPO to deliver justice and to punish those responsible for the unfortunate tragic incident. An emergency meeting was held by the Tupu District Demand Committee on 19 December at Tupu headquarters. The main aim and objective of the meeting was to discuss the various steps taken or to be taken to reach the voice of the unheard to the government of Nagaland under the leadership of Sri Nipurio. The committee decided to release the press to express that the people of Tupu Moka were deprived of their rights given the 5-member committee who did not even reach Tupu subdivision and returned from Mon headquarters since Tupu was the farthest subdivision from Mon district. The committee once again requested the United Democratic Alliance government under the leadership of Nipirio to re-look into their demand and urged all the political parties of Nagaland to support the demand of Tupu district. The meeting was attended by various leaders of civil societies and various political parties. The Matre Foundation Bujal Colony Jhodulingri, Dimapur on Monday organized a free medical camp. The medical camp was themed Do Small Things with Great Love. Dr. M.K. Sharma checked around 100 people at the free medical camp. The foundation is also distributed first aid medicines to the denizens for free.
से सालम जाने से काउंसिल दो कमिटी परा आमी खान बिशी तो हिगना हजार चामानो है ऐसे तो परा तारखा मिटिकल टीम आही बकवा बदो आमी खान कमिटी भी बिशी खुशी के ना तो आही भी आमी खान के मोटप करी भी कोई के ना ताके बातिशी तारखान आही के ना तावाई भी आरो ट्रीटमेंट भी नि फ्री दिया करनी पोस्टी मानो परा बिशी खुशी पाया से आरो डॉक्टर लोगो तारखान कंपनी खान भी बिशी थैंक्स दिया से.
Hi, today on the 20th of December, we are having this medical camp here at Bojal Colony in Chotulingri. And it has been a pleasure that all the supports that we have received from various quarters. And it is really going to benefit the villagers out here. This is kind of a Christmas gift that I see because there are many people who are not able to reach out to meet their basic medical needs. And it's really helpful.
Foundation, and we are really thankful to the council that they have allowed us with the permission to conduct this first aid camp. And we also have Dr. M.K. Sharma with us. Dr. Sharma is looking after the patients, whatever needful he is prescribing and advising, so that the patients can go to the district hospital and get guided for the actual treatment. And we have brought some medicines also, the first aid medicines, so that it will be helpful for the locality and the patients.
In a recent development, the 73-year-old National Radio Broadcasting of India, the All India Radio, will be completely closed after 31 December 2021. It is reported that the programs will be running under an FM channel and a mobile application. According to reports, the rate of transmitters that max availability of AM services has now been increased, which has led to the decision of shutting down 6 transmitters. With this development of All India Radio, thousands of radio listeners will be deprived of listening to the services as the FM reaches around 40 to 50 kilometer area, while in case of the service by the AM in the medium wave is at present delivering services in around 200 kilometer areas. Its services will now get limited only to certain areas. A joint team of Karbi Anglong Autonomous Council, District Administration, Forest Department and CRPF has carried out a massive eviction drive at Lahorichan to the colony on Monday. Reportedly, as many as 500 to 600 households have been affected by the drive. The Deputy Commissioner of Karbi Anglong, Dipakar Nath, while speaking to Nagaland TV, informed that the eviction drive was carried out against settlers that have no valid land pata and documents. This further informed that some petitioners had moved the High Court with regards to the eviction drive, and since the village council had withdrawn some notices, some matters have been placed under sub judice. The Deputy Commissioner further stated that the eviction drive has been going smoothly and there hasn't been any report of casualty as of now.
See, the people who have their pattas, they are not touched. The people who are taking the council land or the government land, only those people are evicted. And the confusion that you were talking about, for some of the Dags, in fact some petitions are filed in the Honorable High Court, and accordingly council has withdrawn some of the notices, and that's how Honorable High Court has dismissed those writ petitions, and that matter is sub judice. For some of the Dags, the matter is sub judice. So those darks for which the matter is sub judice in Honorable High Court, those darks are also not touched. So there is no confusion as such. Okay, so that is what it is. So see, regarding compensation, if you are an encroacher upon the government land, so government is not liable to give you any compensation. So that is what is the rule. It is almost done. I think we have already completed more than 80% of the eviction activities. So few structures are there. I think it will take another 1 hour or 1.5 hours. See, the houses which are marked, some of them are under sub judice. Okay, the matter is with Honorable High Court. Yeah. So as the clarification will come from the High Court, so accordingly the steps will be taken in coming times. And in fact, sufficient manpower is mobilized, sufficient force is mobilized, properly it is planned by the council, district administration as well as police administration, then CRPF. So see, council has deputed very much exhaustively. They gave nodal officers, they mobilized the laborers. Okay. Beside that, they formed a number of teams, search team, then they deputed sufficient laborers, and then from police side, the VDPs are there, then paramilitary forces is there, Assam police is there, district administration is there. So it is a whole collective action, and we got the support of the locals also. They also took this eviction drive in a very positive way, and they also helped us a lot. And we got the support from the media also. So it's a all win-win situation. So as I said, now there's some of the darks, the cases with the Honorable High Court. So let's see how the things will unfold, and accordingly the steps will be taken in recent time.
After the recent tragic incident that occurred in Mon, Oting village, the Congress in Meghalaya has urged all the chief ministers in the northeast to be united against Afspa. The Congress stated that the Afspa has had a very dark history and added that it cannot be enforced anymore, and states should clearly tell the central government that the police in the state can handle the situation in the state related to law and order. The MPCC further stated that the Afspa in states can be imposed by the center after consultation with the state government, so the chief ministers in the northeast states should unite against it. Opposition MPs are set to conduct a march from Kanti's statue in Parliament to Vijay Chowk at 12:30 p.m. on Tuesday to demand the resignation of Minister of State for Home Affairs Ajay Kumar Mishra in connection with the Lakhimpur Kheri case. The opposition had submitted adjournment motion notices in the Lok Sabha over Lakhimpur Kheri violence in Uttar Pradesh and demanded immediate resignation of Mishra. Notably, the special investigation team probing the case termed the Lakhimpur Kheri violence that led to the death of 8 people as a pre-planned conspiracy. The resident doctors of various hospitals in Delhi on Monday protested in front of the Nirman Bhawan over the delay of NEET PG 2021 counselling and called to fulfill their demands at the earliest. Patient care had been affected for the 4th consecutive day on Monday as resident doctors of the 3 center-run and some of the Delhi government-run hospitals boycotted all services, including emergency, as part of the nationwide agitation called by the Federation of Resident Doctors Association. The protesting doctors carrying banners and posters held a demonstration and raised slogans seeking redressal of the issue.
ये प्रोटेस्ट है नीट पीजी काउंसलिंग की डिले के बारे में। जो एग्जाम आइडियली हर साल जनवरी में कंडक्ट होना था, वो सितंबर में कंडक्ट हुआ कोरोना के कारण। उसका रिजल्ट भी सितंबर में डिक्लेयर हुआ, पर कुछ कारण से ईडब्ल्यूएस कोटा की रिवीजन की वजह से वो काउंसलिंग पे स्टे लग गया है और अभी तक पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट्स नहीं आए। सो जो पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट 2020 में फर्स्ट ईयर पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट था, 2021 में भी वो फर्स्ट ईयर पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट है, और यदि अब इस साल भी अगले साल भी पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट्स नहीं आते तो वो 2022 में भी फर्स्ट ईयर पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट ही रहेगा। इसका मतलब है उसकी 3 साल की रेजिडेंसी एज अ फर्स्ट ईयर जूनियर रेजिडेंट ही खत्म हो जाएगी। तीसरी और सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात है कि वी आर ऑल ओवरबर्डन। द रेजिडेंट्स, द जूनियर रेजिडेंट्स हु आर वर्किंग इन वेरियस डिपार्टमेंट्स एंड हॉस्पिटल्स आर ओवरबर्डन बिकॉज 1/3 ऑफ द लॉट ऑफ द वर्कफोर्स हैज नॉट रीच्ड।
Chief of Army Staff General M.M. Naravan attended a seminar organized as part of PANEX 21 on December 20. Naravan attended the seminar through video conferencing from Pune. He maintained that PANEX 21 is another step forward in their endeavor for greater mutual cooperation in disaster management among BIMSTEC countries. The first time an exercise of such scale is being undertaken to streamline response strategy to fight the pandemic.
Unique, as it is for the first time that an exercise of this magnitude involving multiple agencies from multiple countries is being undertaken to review our HADR mechanism and streamline our response strategy in the backdrop of a pandemic. The fact that the pandemic is not over but continues to rage, albeit with varying intensity and new variants, has added realism to the conduct of this exercise. As you are well aware, our region is prone to a range of natural hazards, including floods, droughts, cyclones, earthquakes.
The Election Laws Bill 2021 was introduced in the Lok Sabha on Monday. The bill seeks to link electoral rolls with the Atta ecosystem to weed out duplication under Union Law Minister Kiren Rijiju notified that the legislation will end bogus voting in the country and make the overall electoral process more credible. The Election Laws Bill 2021 seeks to empower electoral officers to seek out a number of people who want to register as voters for establishing identity. Law Minister Rijiju further stated that the bill have already been suggested and recommended by the Standing Committee of Law and Personnel, and the bill is aimed at cleansing the election system. He also added that linking the other with the voters' ID will be voluntary. The bill also seeks to amend various sections of the Representation of the People Act 1950 and 1951, where it seeks to make elections gender neutral for service voters. The amendment bill also replaced the word wife with spouse to make the statutes gender neutral. Following the government's introduction of the Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021 in Lok Sabha, the AIMIM chief Asauddin Owaisi on Monday said the centre is curtailing the independence of the Election Commission by bringing the legislation. Owaisi stated that this bill violates the Supreme Court judgment. Also, the government has no legislative competence. Linking voter ID with Atta violates the fundamental rights to privacy as defined by Supreme Court's Buduswamy judgment. Notably, Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021 was introduced by the government on Monday, following which the opposition members started creating a ruckus and Lok Sabha was adjourned till 2 p.m. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi on Monday moved an adjournment motion notice in Lok Sabha to seek discussion on the statehood and inclusion of Ladakh in Schedule 6 of Constitution of India and said that the party wanted to raise the issue. While addressing the media at the parliament, Rahul Gandhi said that he wanted to raise the Ladakh issue and the struggle they are going through, asking for their statehood. In his notice for Ladakh, Rahul said to constitute a committee with stakeholders, including members from the lay apex body and the Kargil Democratic Alliance, to consider their demands and to take urgent actions to ensure unhindered access to pasture lands in the border areas that were traditionally accessible.
So let us hope that the central government special
पूरा लोकतंत्र पर आक्रमण हो रहा है नॉन स्टॉप हो रहा है, इसलिए हम यहाँ लड़ रहे हैं। मेरा मेन लक्ष्य यहाँ पे जो लद्दाख का मुद्दा था उसको उठाने का था, और मैं फिर दोहराना चाहता हूँ, लद्दाख के सब लोगों को कहना चाहता हूँ, डरो मत, जो आपका है वो आपको मिलेगा। पूरा पेगासस का मामला था, वो इंटरनेशनल मामला था, किसी और देश में।
Mishilimi Christian Centenary Program was held on December 20 at Mishilimi local ground. Additional Deputy Commissioner of Bukoburo, Tungchampemu Tungoik, raised the opening program. Notably, Christianity took birth in Mishilimi in the year 1921 and it marked 100 years in 2021. Meanwhile, Tungoy in his address stated that the people should pray and seek God's blessings on the auspicious event. He further encouraged the people to stand in unity and to forgive one another in the name of the centenary.
100 years कोई से कोई ले इसी लंबा साल एक दासे 100 years back 100 years साल अगो दे कोनो बा मुगला forefathers kan pioneers kan ताकन 3 जन 4 जन हो बारे 2 जन 15 जन हो बारे ताकन जमा करी किना church तो प्लान गुरी ना रखिया से इतवाने आजी मगान 100 years जुबली मानिया से मुझे विश्वास है 100 years church establish करा मानो खान्दो इतिहादो ना थके वही बारे आरो 100 years आजी बड़ा लोई ना मुझे खान पुंचिबो न पुंचिबो ना जाने आई मुझे विश्वास है मुझे इन्हीं भावना कुछ कोले मंगा लगा साल 100 years कुछ कोले बिशी ऐसे तो करने मुझे खान कौन भी another 100 years तो 200 years जुबली दे तो मुझे ना थके बोलन चिना भी लगे ये तो करने आज ही मुझे खान 100 years पहुंची जे ईश्वर के धन्यवाद दिवो लगे आरो मुझे खान लगा pioneers खान के
Nagaland TV English Primetime winds up here. For more news and updated information, keep watching Nagaland TV. I am Chipen Krung.
Nagaland TV, Sop Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 10 in Global Chapter.